Boom, you're live. Hello legends, how we doing? We thought we'd be really clever, give you a live update at sunset, and then remembering that we're veterans, so we're not that smart. We forgot it's not sunset yet. It's almost sunset. Have a look. Say hello, Lou.
Hello, Lou. Hi, everyone.
So we're sacrificing a bit of our precious rowing time here and our speed, especially for you, wonderful people, because we're now pointed at a bearing of 321. So not quite going north, but going north-ish, which we don't want to be. We want to be following the sunset and going west. Go west, my son, and you will arrive in Barbados. So that's the plan. It's lovely out here. I mean, have a look. This is what we look at all day long. Yeah, it's almost like there's so much to see, but there's not a lot to see. There's always something going on, a flying fish. There's some beautiful seabirds come flying over us. We listen to a lot of audio books, which is just luxury, really. I mean, as mundane as this can be, or as monotonous is the word. I don't know about you, Lou, but I still would rather. I'd rather not be doing anything else, would you?
Well, it's a once in a lifetime thing, so I'm not going to turn my nose up. We're very lucky that some people never get this chance, so although it can be hard and monotonous, the word you say, we are lucky. That's the way it is, very lucky.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been monotonous, folks. We can deal with the cold and the wet and the being miserable and battling monster waves because, yeah, we've done all that before, haven't we, in our younger careers. But the monotony is we're quite spoiled, really, being able to say that it gets monotonous because, like I said, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else at any other time in history. I wouldn't say I'd want to do this again, mind you. Or maybe I would. I'm not too sure. I don't know if you can see there, but there's our Starlink. You can see, if you look at those orange, what are they called, Lou? Those, yeah, they're orange sucker pad lifters that you buy in the DIY shop, like B&Q. We had to resort to mounting it on the front of Isabel, simply because it was too much muck around every time we wanted to, check the internet or say hi to you wonderful people. We had to get out the Jackery, we had to get out the Starlink, we had to find a way of keeping it all dry, we had to find somewhere to clip it on, then we had to make sure that we didn't touch it at all, because even if you just touch the cigarette lead, the cigarette lighter cable, it would flick off and then you'd lose your connection, and then we were waiting anything up to sometimes 20 minutes just to try to get online, and that was eating all our power. So I got up the front there and I did a bit of wizardry, really. I fitted the Starlink in between the two sucker pads and it sits in there perfectly, and then to stop it sliding out, if it indeed was even possible, I used some plastic cuffs, plastic ties. And then as a safety measure, I put a lanyard, I attached a lanyard to it. So even if it all got washed over the side, it's still attached to Isabel. And then I used some of my trusty blue tack to fill the holes. So that's all wired in wonderfully now. We're in the cabin. If we're in the cabin, we want to put the internet on, it's just a flick. Bow cabin, which is our forward cabin, the one you just saw, that one there. And that puts the electrics on for up front with the Starlink, and it is that simple. Probably the best, no, not the best DIY we've done since we've been here, because that was obviously fixing the solar panel that broke, but it's equally been really, do you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know what, Louis, I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
I think it means it's been the most innovative thing we've done, getting the Starlink and making it so we don't have to keep faffing around and dragging it out in all sorts of weather. It's there, it's ready to go, just switch it on. But yeah, it's been the best thing we've done, I'd say. Easy.
Yes, and another of the best thing are the sunsets. They're pretty amazing. Guys, I'm struggling to find my goggles. No, my specky ones, because I'll read your comments then. Lou, they're not...
You had them on, didn't you?
Well, I just had them a minute ago. In fact, no, Lou, you'll have to help me just read these comments. Yeah, the sunset, sorry, I was just saying it's pretty magical. Not quite there yet. But you can imagine the sort of colours we're seeing. We will do a sunset video for you. Luke, can you read the comments? Hi Kenny. Hello Paul. Hello Sam. What's Sam saying? Keep smashing it. Thanks Steve. Steve is Sam's Steve's nickname.
Kenny's yeah.
What's that, Catherine?
I dropped Prince Harry an email today and told him to get a grip and get in touch. Catherine's put you above giants amongst men. I'm Catherine, I work with Rachel Houston at Alabari and find these videos truly inspiring. Thank you for this epic fundraising effort. Thank you, Catherine, that's very nice.
Yeah, no, Catherine, the pleasure's all ours for what you're doing for our veterans. We're just doing the easy bit, really. But also just massive thank you to Rachel for everything. She's gone above and beyond. She really has helped us sort of more than anyone, you could say. Yes, so that's about it. We just roll around on this beautiful little boat all day. There's not a lot to add. Somebody asked, is it illegal to have a pirate flag? One sec, let me see if I can turn the camera around. Oh. Yes, of course it's illegal to fly the Jolly Roger, because piracy is illegal. So I don't know if we'll actually make it to Barbados without being arrested and thrown in someone's brig somewhere, but we will do our best. So food-wise today, Louis had a bit of sunstroke, haven't you, Lou?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit headachy in the morning, but no, nothing to worry about. Just a little bit of a migraine. So I'm not eating a great deal. We had cereal in the morning. I just had some Bovril and some super greens.
You have to lean into the camera.
But yeah, no big worries. Just a little bit of migraine earlier this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have something later.
Worked out well for me because I had the fish pie from the ration packs, Expedition Foods fish pie. It was I put way too much water in. It's really hard because I've got to put my glasses on every time to read which individual food needs how much water to rehydrate it. So I just guess, and then I guess, but I can't see what I'm guessing at anyway. No, I'm joking. My eyesight's it's only reading glasses I wear, but it just means that some of the meals have been a bit runny. The alternative is probably to leave them overnight and eat them cold, and maybe they'd thicken up a bit. But yeah, so I had the fish pie today. We had double breakfast, just trying to get rid of the rations really, because I think we're going to be way ahead of what we anticipate. I mean, we anticipate the worst case scenario. We packed 65 days rations, and we packed another 10 days, you could say emergency supplies, so 75 days. But I'm more of a believer in, like, aim for what you need, and then everything will come good. Worst case scenario, if we ran out of anything or needed anything, we could liaise through the wonderful Mission Atlantic with another vessel out here. And, you know, for example, if we ran out of food, we could liaise with someone and get, you know, I'm sure they give us a few tins of something, enough to get us to Barbados. So it's nothing to the end of the world, but it's you don't want to take too much food because of the extra weight. So we've been ploughing through our wet rations, which weigh more. They're military wet rations. They taste really nice, but it's a proper meal in a bag, if you know what I mean. You just got to put it in a burner and heat it up. But they weigh a lot. They weigh a meal for me and Louis will weigh 1 kilo. So every 10 days of eating those meals, that's 30 kilos you're getting rid of Isabel. And we really notice it because we're flying along now. It's when we left Gran Canaria. What was it like trying to row Isabel? It was
like rowing through mud, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a real fight. But no, every time we get rid of some weight, you know, it's easier for us, and you do feel that you're floating or flying a bit faster. You've got a bit of butter on the underside of the boat, maybe.
Yeah. We left Gran Canaria Marina, Puerto Magan, and it was like rowing through treacle. The boat was so loaded up. Isabel was so loaded up, and now when we look at all the stuff we didn't really bring very much. We got probably more tech than anything that other people would bring, because we got a drone, which we've still been waiting for the right conditions to fly, because apparently the bets are the drone's going to go in the drink, and it was quite expensive. We got a laptop, so we got a drone, a laptop, and quite a lot of sort of cables and leads and power packs and stuff for the Starlink. But other than that, there isn't a lot, Lou, is there, when we have a look? Yeah, we got the Jackery, that's the big power bank that Under 2K very kindly sponsored us, and that really doubles up, really. It's emergency power for the Starlink, emergency power for us, but also it sits right at the back of Isabel, right above the rudder, which gives us better steering. It gets more water over the rudder, so that's worked out well. But yeah, it's kind of funny. As much as we love you guys and want to keep you updated and can't thank you enough for your support, as we sit here now not rowing, it really niggles you, because you know, we want to get there. We want to get there in the fastest time possible, because well, we just do. I want to see my family. Do you want to see your?
I certainly do. I want to get to Barbados, see my auntie and uncle, have a few rum and cokes.
Eileen and Colin.
Eileen and Col, yeah. And then ultimately get home after that. Yeah, there's nothing else on our minds, really.
Yeah, and there's also, you just want to be as fast as you can as a crew. It's just one of the things that is one of the factors of ocean rowing, is crews don't want to hang around, you know, they want to, well, not that I'm aware of. We've worked out a lot of stuff as well, because we watched a lot of videos on YouTube before we did this, as obviously, you know, anyone undertaking anything that's potentially risky or requires a huge amount of effort and a new level of skill and a new skill set, obviously everyone does, and we can immediately see a lot of the rowers on YouTube, they're not rowing, they're just flaking away like this with the oars, and you don't get anywhere doing it. We've measured our speed on the GPS. You're actually better off don't bother rowing, go and have a rest, because when we get on the oars, we're pretty serious. I was cracking. We've had very little wind today, We've got a bit of speed over ground because we're in the trade currents now, if there is such a thing. You know, there's the trade wind. I think we're in a current that accompanies it. And I was rowing earlier, and yeah, I managed, just on my own, to get up to, I think it was 5 knots. If you really focus, you kind of, in your brain, there's a part in your brain that senses where the spoons of the oars are in the water simultaneously. It kind of synchronizes across. When you get that sweet spot, it's just a pull as hard as you can into your stomach, push with your legs, and yeah, it's amazing. I think we're doing really well. I think we've cut across a lot of protocol, or expected protocol, and I always think on expeditions you're just best to cut your own path, learn from what's gone before, try it, see how it shakes out, but don't be afraid to mix things up a bit. And you know, that's been good, because it also means me and Louis can go and watch a film. We have a film night, okay, on occasions where we go and watch a film. We've got the little phone holder set up in the roof in the cabin so we can lie down in our cinema, and it's just little things like that I'm really proud that we're doing it our way. We're doing it our way. But then when we are rowing, it's amazing. I was just thinking today, 2 hours goes so quick. You'd think it would be monotonous and boring, wouldn't you? But most of the time, especially if you're listening to an audiobook, it just flies by. So, what audiobook we listening to first, mate?
We're listening to the young lady who's the youngest to sail around the world solo. I remember it, Australian girl. I think she's originally from New Zealand.
Yeah.
What her name, do you remember?
Yeah. I can't say young lady, Lou, because I'm a qualified youth worker, so it's young woman.
Well, we're listening to her at the moment.
Now we listen to young woman Jessica Watson, who was the youngest person to sail around the world. Australian girl. There's currently a film, isn't there, on Netflix, and it's called True Spirit, of her and her boat Pink. It's really inspiring. It's wonderful to listen to stuff like that. And are you like me, Lou? I watch something like that and I just want to do it. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's maybe a difference between adventurous types.
Well, yeah, they are inspiring, but we've been listening to everything Donald Kroer as well, haven't we? In the Golden Globe race in 1968, 69, I think it was.
Yeah, we've been listening in all different forms, from video to audiobook to documentaries, about the Donald Kroer story, which was so sad. Set off with Sir Robin Knox Johnson in the race to see who could be the first around the globe without stopping, unlike Sir Francis Chichester, who stopped in Australia, stopped for quite some time actually, and got his boat fixed up and got a lot of supplies. Well, Robin Knox Johnson on a hand-built boat, or a homemade boat, won that race, as we all know. But Donald Crowhurst set out on his trimaran, having bet his house against it. He put his house up as collateral to his sponsor. He got out into the Atlantic and realised if he was to proceed to the Southern Ocean, he was going to sink. And so he made the decision to pretend that he'd rounded the world, he'd gone round the world, and he set up all these coordinates and stuff, and he was sending sort of cryptic kind of bulletins back to the newspapers, and sadly he ended up in a position where he was actually going to come second, and another boat had run itself into the ground trying to catch him. So out of, I guess, what was guilt, Lou, wasn't it?
Well, if he'd have come third, then he'd have had no one to explain to, but because he was going to arrive second, he was in for the fastest time, so then all scrutiny would have been on him, so that was him.
Yeah, it ended up, he thought he could get away without being scrutinised, and of course coming second, they were going to go through the logbook, the charts, his, you know, his longitudes and latitudes, and realise that he wasn't where he was, and no one ever saw him again, and it was really sad because he had 4 children. So, you know, it's funny, innit? The pressures our mind puts us under, because no one would want him to do that. Well, some people are a bit sad in that respect, aren't they? But nothing's worth doing that. Nothing's worth taking your own life. It's better to go to Thailand and have a holiday in Thailand and let your hair down and contemplate life. Yes. All right. Is that Colin? Hello, brother. Loving the videos, boys. Enjoy. Help me out here, Luke. Enjoy
Every second, because it will soon be over and back at graft. Don't forget the halfway tradition on each other. Just close your eyes and come for it.
Yeah, probably, brother. It's probably good I haven't got my glasses on, isn't it?
And it's a creamy nose.
Yeah. Someone's saying hello to Jenny there. That's my Jenny, but I can't see. We'll read these comments after, folks, don't worry. But, yeah. Okay, so, usual routine, friends. We're rowing the Atlantic on our way to Barbados. Quite some personal investiture, is that even a word? And effort and commitment. We just ask if, and we're doing it to raise awareness for people who might be struggling with their mental health, that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. We've both been through the mill, and we're never gonna, you know, you're always gonna have challenges, but you know, life is utterly brilliant when you crack it, and you just end up in paradise, and you can't, once you're in paradise, you can't leave. And we want other people to realise that in your darkest moment, when you're struggling, just keep going, because you're massively loved, way more than you know, massively respected, and at times in life it doesn't seem like that. So that's our message. We're raising some money for some great charities like Elaborate, Homes for Veterans, and Scotty's Little Soldiers, support for bereaved service children, many of whom have lost a parent to suicide. If you could just share this video, folks, or add some people, or tell them about it, that would be really, really amazing. And if you can chip in a £5, there's our GoFundMe address. That would be awesome too. Anything you want to add first, mate?
Not really, just enjoy yourself wherever you are and be grateful, and we'll see you all over that sunny horizon sometime.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Much love. Hasta luego.